Hi, good morning. It's Christine Williams with the Soulful Guild. And good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a new day. It's a new day. Um, we just had the most wonderful, bright, beautiful full moon last night. And it went and watched the moon come up. And what is a labyrinth? I just posted a video just previous to this one that I'm doing now that talks a little bit about a labyrinth. Take a second and look at that. It's a walking meditation where you have a chance to go quiet with yourself, be with yourself, walk this. It's kind of like a grid that's laid out, and as you walk to the center, it's very representative of you walking to the center of you, going inward, figuring out what it is that you need to work on, what is it that you need to change, what is it that you need to release. Anyway, full moons are fantastic times for releasing the old energy, stagnant energy, things that need to move in you, release so that you can create for anew. And I think it's just fantastic because the card that I pulled for today goes right along with that. But before I do that, good morning. Get your cup of Joe or tea or whatever, and empty cup, and let me fill it up for you with glow or inspiration. And let's start our day out right. So take a minute and pour up, and as you're getting ready for work or deciding how you're going to spend your day. I have a couple of clients today, and I'm also preparing to do a really fun activity at the place I work. On the weekend, we're creating rain sticks, and that's a really fun and great activity. Rain sticks used to be used a long time ago to well, and maybe they still are in present day, I don't know, but in other countries, to call in the rain and to bless the land, and they have a beautiful sound. It's a stick that's created and with stuff inside to you turn it upside down, and it just feels like you hear the stuff, the movement inside trickles down through the stick, and it sounds like water raining, and it's kind of a tool or an instrument that they use to create, to bless the land, to call in the waters, and boy, with these hot days that we're having now, and I think we hit, and this is for Utah, South County in Provo area, we're when you hit in the upper 90s, it's getting pretty warm, and when it jumps from you know spring, winter the next day to hot summer, those those rains are welcome because we dry out so fast. So anyway, it's kind of a fun thing to think about how maybe other indigenous people and places and tribes would use these rituals that they would have to get together and use their rain sticks and create them to pray and sing and dance and call in the rain. So I'm getting ready to teach a class to do those. So that's what I'm doing today, and starting my day with my glow here. I've already picked my cards, and the ones that I chose today, I chose these because you can see this. It's the the Mermaid Dolphin deck, Magical Mermaid Dolphin deck from Doreen Virtue. The reason I chose this was because she's setting out. This mermaid is setting out on this rock out, allowing the ocean to come up, and she's kind of in the full moon having a magical moment. And that kind of is how I felt last night, having a magical moment, and releasing as I walked through the labyrinth, just releasing old energy, trying to beckon myself, call in the new. And that's what today and this month forward now after a moon cycle when we hit a full moon. And after a releasing, then you're calling in the desires and intentions of what you're wanting to create, which goes along super great with the card that I pulled. Really awesome. It says a new dawn. And here this woman is looking, and what a contrast here, because here we have this mermaid who is, looking at the full moon, perhaps releasing, and then here she is looking at a new dawn, the day the sun is coming up. And it says, and this fits in so perfectly with the releasing of a full moon, of old stuff and a full moon. The worst is now behind you, and positive new experiences are on the horizon. So we all have experiences. We all have stuff that we're going through, and we've had some rough stuff. There's been a lot of wild and fiery energy, and things have been coming down the pike that we just like, wow, are we ready for that? Were we ready? Did we think that? Did we think? I mean, we were just thinking that things were going to get better, and we'd had the worst, and then we got a little bigger storm that came along, and it's interesting because in my work and coaching and counseling, the people that I meet with, this is very collective. This is not. We're all going through our own personal black night of the soul, the dark night of the soul, they can call it. And when you go through a storm like that, and we can have the natural storms which represent those moments for the earth, we have hurricanes, we have volcanoes, we have earthquakes, we have all sorts of things that create these natural rumblings. Okay, so we stand on that earth. What natural rumbling are you going through? What dark night are you having to walk through? And the thing that keeps us going is that hope of a new day and a new horizon. Let me read from the book what this little message is for this card, so that you can have something to think about for today in creating your today and your new month. And okay, so it says, you've endured storms over rough seas, but now the way is clear and smooth. Oh, whew, that's a relief, isn't it? From here on in, you can expect the best. And I love that word expect, because when we get in that place, now, expectations can be dangerous, except if you create an expectation that is goal oriented, and you add an action plan with it. It's very powerful. That's kind of like the equation for manifestation and miracles. And we think, we've been talking about manifestation and miracles, and we think that they're not just something that goes poof, and appears. A miracle or a manifestation is a plan that has been in action, and because of the desire behind that action and behind that drive, and then the actions that are coupled and married with that desire or plan, then it creates this. It's like baking a cake. You throw in the ingredients, you put it all together, you mix it up, and then you put it in the oven to bake. You do all the things necessary, and when all of those things, when you pour it in the pan, when you pour a cake mix in the pan and throw it into the oven, it's running, okay? And to think that in 30 minutes is going to be something fluffy and beautiful and wonderful tasting, and a cake, it totally goes through transformation, because you have followed the recipe, because you have followed the equation that will create that beautiful manifestation, and then you can have this miraculous, beautiful dessert. And that's what this is. That's what I'm talking about when I say expectations. I'm talking about a plan, a beautiful plan, an imagined outcome. But it's also married and coupled with a plan of action and movement, okay? So it says, don't hang on to anything that could weigh you down, such as resentment or bitterness. Let it go. That's what the full moon is about. Let it go, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to release today? Can you even just like throw garbage in your car away? Can you put it in a bag, throw it in the garbage can? You will be amazed at how letting go of just a few things in your natural world around you will make you feel. It will just lift the space. Get rid of those burdens. Take care of something that needs to be taken care of. If you've gone through patterns of negativity in the past, this is the time to affirm, I now release the need to experience this life lesson. I expect whatever teachings I need to discover, and I move onto a life of harmonious and peaceful actions. Are we used to living through that old story and repeating the same patterns? Because if we want a different way of life, but we keep repeating the old pattern, we're going to get the same thing we've always gotten. We need to have a new pattern. So we need to release that old pattern. By pulling this card, you've turned a corner in your life, wherein your prayers and positive thoughts are delivering new rays of divine light to illuminate your present and your future. And look at this card. Can you see the rays of light? And that's what happens when the sun comes up. Oh my gosh, those rays. I've always been, not always, the last couple of years, I like to get up before the sun comes up and wait for the first ray to come over on the horizon. In my case, it's over the mountain. It's incredible. And so many things are stirred inside of me, and I realize this is how each ray as it comes up, as the light stretches out and literally runs across the valley and down to and literally touches me, it creates light in me to have new action, new hope. And that's what this card is about today, is a new dawn. So what is it that you need to release? What is it that you need to let go? What action plan do you need to put in play? And if you don't have an action plan, get a first step. Just take a piece of paper, sit down, and create an action plan. 1, 2, 3 steps. What can I, in my mind, what can I think about? Then how can I gather the supplies or the tools I need to implement? And what can I do? 3 simple steps to initiate a new day, a new dawn, a new outcome. So here's our thought for the day. Let's pull in a new dawn, a new day. Happy day and cup of glow to you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.